Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for watching and I hope you will be fluent in English. Today we are talking about the topic, a dream trip to New York.
Hi, Peter, guess what? I'm finally planning that trip to New York I've always talked about.
That's awesome. Jane, New York is such a vibrant city. When are you planning to go?
I'm thinking about going in 2 weeks. I've been reading up on it, and there's so much to see and do, I don't even know where to start.
2 weeks? That's coming up fast. You'll have an incredible time. So, what's on your must-see list?
Well, I definitely want to visit Times Square. I've seen it in so many movies, and it looks so lively, especially at night. I'm also planning to catch a Broadway show.
Times Square is even more impressive in person with all the lights, billboards, and crowds. As for Broadway, that's a must-do. Have you thought about which show you want to see?
I'm torn between The Lion King and Hamilton. I've heard they're both amazing, but in different ways. What do you think?
Both are fantastic. The Lion King has incredible visuals and music, and it's great if you want something more classic. Hamilton is a newer show, but it's taken the world by storm. It's a mix of history and hip-hop, very unique.
Maybe I'll try to see both if I can get tickets. I'm also thinking about visiting the Statue of Liberty. I feel like I can't go to New York without seeing it.
You're right, it's an iconic symbol of freedom. The ferry ride there is beautiful, and you get a great view of the city skyline. While you're there, you should also visit Ellis Island. The Immigration Museum is really interesting.
I've read about Ellis Island. It sounds fascinating, especially learning about all the people who came to America through there. I'll make sure to add it to my itinerary. What about Central Park? I've heard it's huge.
Central Park is massive. You could easily spend a whole day there. There's so much to see. The lakes, the bridges, the statues, and even the Central Park Zoo. You could rent a bike or take a horse-drawn carriage ride. It's a nice break from the hustle and bustle of the city.
A carriage ride sounds so charming. I'll definitely do that. I'm also a big art lover, so I was thinking of visiting some museums. Which ones are a must-see?
For sure, the Metropolitan Museum of Art should be at the top of your list. It's one of the largest and most famous museums in the world. You can see everything from ancient Egyptian artifacts to modern art.
I've seen pictures of the Guggenheim. It looks so unique. I'll add that to my list as well. What about the Empire State Building? Is it worth going up?
Absolutely. The view from the top is breathtaking, especially at sunset. You can see the whole city from up there. Another option is the top of the rock at Rockefeller Center. It has a great view too, and you can see the Empire State Building in the skyline.
Both sound amazing. I'll try to do both if I can. I'm also looking forward to trying all the food. New York is famous for so many things like pizza and bagels.
You have to try New York pizza. It's thin, crispy, and so delicious. There are famous spots like Joe's Pizza or Lombardi's, which is the first pizzeria in the US, and yes, bagels are a must-do. Try them with cream cheese and logs. That sounds so good. I've heard the street food in New York is great too. I want to try a hot dog from one of those classic carts. Definitely, New York hot dogs are a classic. And don't forget about the food trucks. You can find everything from falafel to gourmet tacos. If you're in the mood for something sweet, try a New York cheesecake. It's rich and creamy, the perfect dessert.
Cheesecake is one of my favorites. I'll have to find a good spot for that. I'm also curious about Chinatown. I've heard the food there is amazing.
New York has a way of keeping you busy. Every neighborhood has its own vibe, so you'll never run out of things to see and experience. Just make sure to pace yourself.
I'll try. I'm planning to stay for a week, but I'm already thinking I'll need to come back to see everything.
A week is a good start, but yes, you'll probably want to return. New York is one of those places that you can visit over and still find something new.
I believe it. Thanks so much for all the tips, Peter. I feel like I have a solid plan now.
You're welcome, Jane. I'm sure you'll have an unforgettable trip. Don't forget to take lots of pictures.
I will for sure. I can't wait to share all the stories when I get back.
Thank you for watching. Hopefully today's topic brings you a lot of interesting information about New York City. Follow our podcast as a way to practice your listening, reading, and vocabulary skills. Practicing every day will help you communicate in English easily.